Hello there, it's April 25th, 2023. My name is Joe Weston, and I'm here for our online practice for reviving the global heart. And it's really lovely to see some familiar faces. And nice to gather today. As many of you probably heard, this will be our last reviving the global heart practice for quite a time. We're going on hiatus. And I just thought it'd be nice. It's great to see some faces I haven't seen for a while. So that's lovely to have you join here and be part of that. As I said, I sent out an email and a notice about that we started doing these Tuesday morning practices in June of 2018. And then that summer, we called it the Global Practice for Lasting Peace. And then somehow it evolved into the Global Practice for Reviving the Global Heart. And here we are. And thanks to Todd and Tori and Shelley and many others, we have managed to pretty much, I think, every Tuesday for almost 5 years, gather to offer this practice. So I feel very good about that. I'm grateful for all of you who have been part of that. And as you know, it's this idea that actually I got the idea when I ran my marathon in 2003 in Amsterdam, when I was looking at the route and I said, wow, that kind of looks like a heart. And that's where that was born, this idea of the heart walker, the heart runner. And I had a t-shirt made with a big red heart and the Tibetan syllable Hri, which is connected with the Buddha of compassion. And on the back, it said lasting peace. And I just asked everyone, let's weave a golden thread of lasting peace throughout the world as I was doing that run. And it was a fun run. And I felt everyone's energy as it uplifted me. And surprisingly, I'll have to send, I wish I had the picture, I should have shown you it, like 2 kilometers out, which is what, about a mile out. I was very cheery and smiley. Paulina, you were there. Paulina, you were at the finish line when I actually crossed the finish line. Wow. I just remembered that. Wow. And that's when that was born, this idea of weaving a golden thread of lasting peace. And I really feel in the last 5 years with this practice that we have woven many visualizations of what's possible for human beings. And the practice, even though it was the same practice every week, that created a structure and a foundation of understanding resilience and fierce compassion, and this idea of us doing the work of the courageous work of going within and confronting and breaking down our own mental constructs that continue to allow us to believe that we are separate. That as we continue to do that, we open and we begin to see that on some level, human beings in their purest form, without labels and judgment, there are no friends, there are no strangers, there are no adversaries. There's just human beings. And there are creatures. And there's the planet itself. And so this whole process has been a process of, first for ourselves, getting more in alignment with what is naturally true, that we are interconnected and interdependent. And at the same time, with each practice, even though the structure is the same, with either through the teachings that I brought in or the beautiful wisdom that you brought in or the guests who came in, weaving that wisdom and those teachings into the global field through the World Wide Web to plant seeds for what is possible for us as human beings. And I want to thank you all for that. And Vanessa, Jean says she can't find the link and she can't get in. I just saw an email.
I just emailed it to her.
Okay. I want to read the, in my new book, Fierce Civility, Transforming Our Global Culture from Polarization to Lasting Peace. I would like to read, if I finally can say it with ease, it's taken a while to figure out, it's a stumbler. I'd like to read the dedication. And to me, that sums up what this practice has been for me and what today is, in a sense. To all those encountered around the world who have enlivened, educated, empowered, and encouraged my heart, trueness, and commitment to wisdom and service, sometimes at the risk of their own lives. To those I have never met yet, who are committed to exploring the depths of power of the heart and to mustering up the courage to manifest and anchor this power into a world that has become so cynical and oppositional. While we have never met, I feel the partnership with you as we all participate in this movement to elevate the human family to its highest capacity. I know that despite the tough days, we remember that tingle in our hearts and we forge ahead. From my heart, the deepest of gratitude. And I wanted to read that because that's the essence of what I truly believe, that with this practice, that whether you showed up to be on the World Wide Web with us in these little boxes, or whether you were not doing that, we have created heart connection, and that transcends the World Wide Web, and that transcends presence and time and space. And I just want to offer that as a final message with this, for this period of with this practice, is that we forge ahead. We create bonds of the heart. And I do believe, at the book launch party in DC on April 17th, question came up like, this all sounds great, and Joe, you're really all about the heart, but is this really going to work with all that's happening with AI and things like that? And I said, do we really have a choice? This is because of AI, because of the internet, and we're no longer being able to figure out what reality is, because we're experiencing the world through devices. We have no choice but to cultivate a stronger commitment to being in our bodies and being in our hearts, to remember what it is to be human. For those of you who live with chickens and pigs and animals and in nature, you know what I'm talking about. That is going to be our salvation. That's going to be moving us forward, is a continual practice of remembering what it means to be in a human body and to be in our hearts, because all the forces, the media, social media, the internet, technology, economics, all of it is pulling us out of that and making us believe that the world that we're being given to believe to be true is really reality. And I believe that we have woven something, and we continue to weave something very powerful and palpable. And I just invite us all to, whether we're meeting every Tuesday or not, to cultivate that. To cultivate practices to be in your body, to connect with nature, to connect with, I know this sounds radical, human beings, to connect and particularly to connect with people that you haven't met yet. The whole purpose of this practice is to get us excited about the concept of love thy stranger, because that is the hope and solution. If we're stuck in our patterns of only hanging out with people that we love and know us, and if we demonize people that we see as enemies, and keep a distance and justifiably a safe distance from those that may harm us, that's not going to solve our world problems. And there are many solutions, but the one I'm offering is to consider the almost 8 billion people that you haven't met yet, and the most remarkable wild exchanges you can have with them, where that's going to spark new ideas and new vision for a new emergence of what human beings are going through anyway. We're moving into an age of human development that surpasses the technology, and it's happening. And we're not seeing it on social media. We're not seeing it in the news, and it's happening. And so it's not like we have to start anew and start something that hasn't already been developed. It's happening. And many of you in here can attest to that. So I just want to bring that in. That's my final reflection in that sense. Just deep gratitude and knowing that our hearts are always connected. And I've had many experiences in my life. Some of you have heard them, where I have experienced directly the transformational power of the heart, where I have directly experienced communication that goes beyond words, that is heart resonance. And there are organizations around the world that are actually scientifically testing this, like the HeartMath Institute, and new findings in quantum physics and quantum reality that transcend our still very Middle Ages notion of what science is and what reality is. So with that aspirational hope, I just would love to open it up and see if anybody wants to share, and see if there's anyone who wants to share your heart or share your vision of how you see this global heart connection. Joe Gamel says, I have to move to another call, I'm afraid, but I couldn't miss at least the start of this last gathering. Thank you all. Thank you. And thank you to your beloved. Aliza.
Thank you all. God bless.
Yeah. Enjoy.
Thank you, Jay.
Sì, perché sono venute a sentire I tamburi africani.
That was great. Anyone else want to share?
Well, what I do want to share, first of all, I always feel connected to you. That's also one of the reasons I wanted to attend today, because it's an important day. I moved here to Spain to live in nature and work with animals because I wanted to go beyond the connection with humans and to feel the global heart connection also with animals and the nature, and how humans can add to the well-being of life on this planet. And that's a wonderful experience. And I always come back to humans at the same time, because it's humans who are guardians of this planet. So it's very important that we together do it, whatever that doing it is. Now, for instance, I'm dealing with an exceptional drought here in Spain. For over a year, there has been no rain. And well, it just comes to me because you mentioned something about that I forgot it, what you really said. But for me, I come to a new challenge now, like, yes, we can, the reality is this, is the body and the nature. And this is really a challenge, then how to stay in the body and in the heart and accept what is happening, which you can't control. It's out of my hands, basically. And so I come to a new level of a challenge, which I just wanted to share. That's that the heart is even more and more and more important, to stay there and to face whatever is there and to see whether you can help to improve life, let's say. Well, that's what I want to say.
Thank you.
Joe, I would like to thank you for all of the gatherings you have made possible. You have opened my mind to the kindness of strangers and the kindness towards strangers. That's been my big takeaway. And Bob and I have had discussions. We here in DC, we've just sort of blossomed out back into the world by way of the DC Film Festival, which we're film festival goers. We go fly to places for film festivals. but just the past few first days of the festival have given us a feeling of, yes, the world, there is a world out there, and we're interacting with people again, and we're making new friends. I'm also personally finding that human beings in general, as I see it, are using these past few years, whether it's from a political standpoint or a pandemic standpoint, to reset something in their lives. And Joe, maybe that's part of what you're doing, and Todd, and finding different places to live and different ways to live. And Pauline, I think you just said something like that. So those are my observations as we say farewell as a group on Tuesdays at 11 Eastern time. Thank you.
Joe, you know that I keep saying that you changed my life, which is true. And I think there has been also a touch of the whole network, of the whole Western network also. There is two things that I am grateful to you. And first one is that I understand what it means to be connected. And basically, as Pauline was saying, I feel like I'm always connected with you. And I think that means that we're sharing, without saying anything, maybe the same scope and also the same objective in life. And that's the inner quality and the tunnel quality of this connection. And the other things that I want to say is that you are very inspiring as a philosopher, because notions like like that the science should step out of medieval ages is very, very, very true, and is very original, very original. So you don't have to. Maybe some people don't understand these things, but there are other people that understand what it means. And another thing that I really love, is that everybody regards technology as the end of it, but this phase of technology is only the beginning of a new phase. This is fantastic, and I'm going to take this with me the whole week and the rest of my life.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Alessandro. Five years is quite a long time. And I think what this has taught me is the power of persistence, of regular rhythm, of so many of you have showed up 90% of those 5 years. And just as an aside, I got to hug Bob and Jean last week, which felt special, but it also felt like we'd already hugged prior to this on Zoom. And Joe, you know, thank you for your commitment in doing that on a weekly basis. I know it's not easy to do something every week, and I feel like I have benefited, even when I've not been here every week, that the spirit of this time and the connections that are restored, my heart's been revived. And in doing so, I deeply believe that the global heart is revived when my heart is revived.
Yeah, Joe, I want to add my gratitude to you for holding this space for 5 years, for creating this sense of connection. Even though I haven't been able to get on it the last number of, I guess, several months, I know it's here, I know that thread, that golden thread, weaves through us. So that is a tangible constant. And I really appreciate your encouraging us to flip the adversarial thinking, to really embrace and stand in the place of our heart that may connect with another's heart who is not of our same ilk. and I think that some of the things I feel about the transition of the planet, the transition many of us have felt over the last few years, whether pandemic or unrest or economic or whatever it is, transition, earth-shaking time. And I think you have invited us to help in whatever way we can be part of those sort of doulas and welcomers of the transition space for better thriving for our species, other species, the Great Mother. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I didn't open this up for you to talk about me. I opened it up to just share your ideas about what's going on, stuff like that. So just want to clarify that. But thanks. Deeply. Thank you.
Does feel like practice to continue to activate and awaken our heart energy, where compassion and understanding and curiosity lives, and to be walked in and through that on such a steady basis with different weavings of Dharma and the practice of the core practice, and to find the delight in meeting in a magical sense and in an imaginative sense and in a very real sense, strangers that many times I've been aware that loved ones, adversaries are all strangers. I'm stranger to me. And if I can keep that stranger perspective, then I'm in like wild delight, because there's so much possibility in that. So I'm so grateful for having been in this space again and again and again. And it feels like it's woven into me, so that I can continue, whether we're in this particular these squares or not. I've got it in me, like it's threaded, it's woven. So deep bow. Thank you.
Wow, Shelley shared almost word for word, like so much of my sentiment. I don't know where to begin, but I know I want to share my gratitude for Joe and my experience of receiving this work, and for the team. 5 years, like that's a really fabulous place to be. It's a nice place to mark. And I have appreciated, because my experience is I'm in northern New Jersey and in the New York metro area, and sometimes I feel like I'm in an outpost and isolation. So when I look at these squares and I feel the connection through the screen and remember how, you know, my heart is connected and woven through with each of you and with the earth and the collective, it helps to keep me going, and it's my inspiration. So when I walk and I feel my isolation or my aloneness, I feel the different beings we've connected with through this global heart practice from all the different time zones and all around the world. And it just fills my heart to know, like, okay, there are other people out there practicing this. And I have gratitude for each one of you and each who are here and who are not able to be present here today, to be able to, who have been in practice with me so that I can learn. So I just wanted to share that, my experience of all that.
Mm. I love that outpost, northern New Jersey.
Yeah, you remember Game of Thrones and the wall? I
The
kind of feel like
wild wilderness.
I feel like I'm in the wild wilderness sometimes, walking around I know it's funny to think of the suburbs as the wild wilderness, but as far as human connection, it kind of is. So yeah.
Joe, I may have said this to you before, but for the benefit of our on-screen people, I'd like to repeat it. And that's, thank you for your book. I know you put so much into it. Others have too. But I'm going to read it from cover to cover, and I commit myself to what I learned from that, reading it, I want to put into action. Action, not just words. To make an attempt to make things better.
Thanks, Bob. And there's Willie, one of our longtime practitioners. Does Willie have anything to say?
He says, how come breakfast is so late today?
Willie's got a lot of work to do with his practice.
Beautiful.
I think one thing I'm reminded of as we sit here and gather and honor these past 5 years and just sink into each other. Like, some of you I've met in person, some of you I haven't, but there's such a deep resonance of joy in being with each of you. And what I remember, I remember so many things and feel so connected to each of you in different ways, and to you, Joe, and resonate with all the gratitude being expressed. I feel that in my heart as well. But the notion of making an impact close to you with your own loved ones, that's close to you with yourself, that's deepest every day, and to then the multitude, the 8 billion that we don't know, and how I remember, or when I feel maybe wanting to connect with more people I don't know, of your simple yet profound practice of walking down a busy street, and every single person you meet, of just sending them from your heart and your center to their heart and their center, a simple blessing, whatever it may be. And that's been a profound and like a continuation of practice to connect with people I don't know, and continuing that, and the idea of taking that further, but just holding that practice in my heart with joy and gratitude. A way to connect, the simplest ways to the most profound. Thank you.
Thank you, Tori. I'd like to offer that as a reflection of my own, for the first time being back here in a long time. I think I'm struck deeply by the sense of peace I feel being in this virtual room with everyone, and the gentle power that is here. That's it's in my experience that's fairly unique to this space, and I'm really thankful for everyone for continuing to show up and hold what has been created for the last 5 years, and as has been said by others, for Joe for persisting and being so consistent, and yeah, continuing to create the space for 5 years. That's huge, and it's a delight to be back and to be with all of you in virtual space again, and I'm feeling already deeply moved by it. So thank you to everyone.
Great to see you, Patty.
I love to share something too, but I'm a bit too emotional, but that's no problem at all.
Also no surprise, but go ahead.
I wrote you an email, Joe, and I thought we started a bit later than some of you. We started with a baby, and he's nearly 4 years old. He's going to school, and it looks like this circle. We're old enough. We're going to school. School is outside. We don't have the small protection at home, but we have a very, very strong basement. And you made it, and you all together made it. And I have seen some people in real life, and most of you never. But when you are close to our home, just call and come in, and you can eat and stay wherever you want because you're family. And that's huge. And even people like Betty, I haven't seen you for a while, and I haven't seen Carol for a while. And I know, oh, your family too. You showed up today. That's so great. And Tori too, yes, and now everyone. So it's huge, and we can do it on our own in this world because we have this basement. Base. Oh, Hank says it's a base.
Foundation.
Foundation. That's the good
yeah.
word. Yes, yes. So thank you, Joe, for creating that foundation, make it huge. And thank you all for being part of my foundation. And I take you with me when I go to school, when I go outside in the world without you. So thank you very much.
Yes. And Joe, the practitioner was very helpful for me to stay with an open mind and an open heart in the contact with other people and stay out of conflict and opposition. So that's a very great contribution to my life. Thank you.
So I'd like to do a couple of things. I'd like to, first of all, please stay in touch. And we're not done. We're not done. I mean, and based on what you're all saying, I really get that. We're not done. We've created something, and this is like a family, a tribe, or whatever, however the word resonates for you. I'm always here. Please know that I'm always here. And I'm really good. I'm really good with saying now, so if you get in touch and say, I need to talk or whatever, I'm really good saying now's not the right time, but how about blah, blah, blah. So just know that there's no need to hesitate. If you want to share triumphs, if you have concerns or questions, if you have ideas, just know that. And I'm sure, and poor Todd had to suffer this, and Vanessa's beginning to do that as well, and others. I'm sure by next week I'll have 63 different new ideas about how we can gather. So don't worry that, oh, Paulina too. Paulina also helped me years ago in support. So you should start a support group with each other.
Good idea.
Huh? Let's say it.
Good idea.
Good idea. And there are things that are percolating. So just know that. I want to just take you through a quick practice to just say, this is all you need. All the things you're saying. I trust the foundation is there. You are all brilliant people. You are all doing remarkable things in the world in your own way, as Tori said, and all the work I do from the Middle East with transformation of people who are trying to transform culture to many different types of organizations that you decide on your scope of influence, whether that's for yourself, whether that's for your family and your neighbors, whether that's for your community, whether that's for the globe. One is not better than the other. If each one of us make our own contribution in our way, if everyone did that, then we would see instant change. It's just, that's common sense. It's not rocket science. So just a quick practice, if you don't mind. I want to just know that you can go home with this and that you got it. Sit in power sit or however you want to sit. Take a moment, feel your feet on the ground, really feel your feet connecting, the bottoms of your feet connecting with the ground. Bring awareness to your core, focus on your core. Bring awareness to your heart. Take a few deep breaths. Connect with your surroundings. As you continue to take deep breaths, continue to feel your feet on the ground, focus on your center, awareness in your heart, open your eyes. Look around the room. Assess in this moment, with accurate assessment, your level of safety. Based on that, decide how much you can open your heart. And in this moment, meet the current present moment as it is. Meet every person, every creature, the environment, meet it where it is. Take a deep breath and shake it out. That's it. Connect with self, connect with surroundings, connect with others. The rest will, what will be there will unfold. But I want to just, I think I want to do this, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to read the last couple of paragraphs of my new book, Fierce Civility, Transforming Global Culture from Polarization to Lasting Peace. This, for me, is a blueprint for how this is. I've mapped it out of exactly what we're talking about, of how, in a sense, for me, it's how we can rewire ourselves to, for us to be in alignment with the more evolved way that we can be. This is a blueprint for that. So I hope a lot of people read it. That's my request. So please hold that in your heart. And I just want to read this, the last two paragraphs. This is the backdrop for our personal and collective journey of hope into which more of us are heroically stepping. It is with focused kinesthetic awareness and an appeal to the heart that we can break the gridlock of extreme polarization, foster healing and reconciliation, find alliances in surprising places, and set the groundwork for new, innovative solutions that are diverse, inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. With this, we will have ushered in a global culture of lasting peace. The heart is the unifying force that will put all the disparate pieces of the puzzle together in a way that reveals the coding and formula for each and every one of us to judiciously benefit from the world system's resources, information, and power. Once realized, we will have achieved our greatest feat of combined human ingenuity yet. The revival of the healthy, balanced global heart! Exclamation point. So there you got it. So thank you all. That's the dedication. That's the dedication.
That's
That's
awesome.
that's okay.
Really? Really?
So you've read, I'm sorry, you read, you now know how the book ends. So that's so you know how it ends. And I rejoice in each and every one of you and what you have contributed, not just here for the last 5 years, and what we have created a community. Every guest who would come would just marvel at the level of energy and heart-centeredness, just the group itself. So thank you for every one of you contributing to that. And I know each and every one of you, and I know the spectacular, remarkable, beautiful things you're doing in the world. So I rejoice in that, and may every minute thought, word, or action that you have that is motivated towards connection and the benefit of the well-being of all beings, may that exponentially increase. And may all your desires and dreams come true in a clear, grounded, and very practical way. Any last, just a couple of words, or?
So very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
All.
Yes.
What did you say, Mika?
Thank you all.
Thank you all.
Thank
the
you all,
whole
yes.
group, the
For
whole
participation.
Thank you all, yes.
Thank you all.
All right, enjoy your day, stay in touch.
Do
And,
your dedication. We
That
love
was the dedication. That was the dedication. Oh,
Okay,
oh
okay,
yes.
but
And may all and may the benefits of what we've generated, may all creatures on this planet have enough fresh water to eat and food to eat, fresh water to drink, and food to drink. And may, who knows, that might be where we go. And may each and every world leader and government have an epiphany, however that happens, to just wake up and see that the path they're on of greed and extreme self-centeredness and self-interest is not only is it not serving the planet and all of its creatures, it's not serving them. And wake up to a new viewpoint of that the only way we're gonna win is if all of us win.
amen. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you.
So long, everyone.
Yeah,
Thank you.